Yay.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I am always so humbled to see you guys like showing up. This is so precious to me that I am so excited to share a little bit of my passion with you guys. Today's first of all, my name is Lorena. I am an authenticity coach, a creativity coach, a poet, and I'm really like obsessed with the power of art to heal and to transform. Normally, my workshops are about poetry, but I've been really surprised about how paintings too. They just like wake something inside of you, and they act as a mirror of your soul, and they stir feelings on you, and they bring out stories, right? That we don't know we have living in our head. We all look at one piece of art, and it means something totally different for each of us, and I find that to be fascinating. So it's great for coaching, and it's just great for us to have as a tool whenever we are observing something, right? Just to be present, to feel alive, and to find the magic on the little things, right? And it's mostly, unless you buy a piece from Leo, it's free, right? Just to look and to enjoy. Next time we're going to get one of Leo's pieces that's in our community. So with that being said, yeah, that will be the purpose of our call, just to see and to observe how powerful is art for our healing and self reflection, self discovery, and and that's that. I feel like almost all of us know each other, but I don't know if Danielle is being here enough to know everyone. So maybe we go around really quick and we introduce ourselves. We're starting with Drum, that's over there in the top.
I'm in the middle for me, but I guess I'm
Okay.
a different spot for everybody. I can look up and down. But yeah, my name is Drummond, and I'm here in Richmond, Virginia.
All right. Well, thank you, Drum. Michael?
I'm Michael Peterson. I'm here in Seattle, Washington.
All right. You're next, Jorge.
Hi, I'm Jorge Ernesto, and I'm here in Chicago, Illinois.
That's right. Leo?
I'm Leo and I live in the Bahamas.
Okay. And you, Bradley? Where are you?
Bradley, I live in beautiful Montreal, Quebec.
Oh, very nice. And my beautiful Leah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Leah, and I live in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
And last but not least, Danielle, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm in Bridgewater, Connecticut.
All right. Very nice. We have a little bit of everything. So, how is everyone feeling today?
Great.
Awesome. Diana, all right, let's invite Diana. Just in time, Diana. We just had our introduction. So, where are you, Diana, today?
When you're ready.
One second, one second.
Yes, yes.
Oh, there you go. Oh, running late. There you go. Sorry.
No problem. We're all here.
Thanks.
So we were just saying, where are we coming from? Where are you, Diana, today?
Oh, I'm in Canada, Ontario.
All right, perfect. Another Canadian. So,
Anyone else Canadian here?
I'm sorry? Yes,
Bradley,
Bradley.
fellow Canuck.
Going on, D?
Yeah, Brad. You
Yes.
in Montreal? That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Montreal. I'm from Peterborough, so.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm in
Whereabouts are
Burlington.
you? Burlington? Right on. My brother's in Burlington.
What? When you come visit him, come see me.
Sounds good. I'll drop you a line.
Awesome.
You guys made me so jealous when you guys go and meet each other everywhere. I have some terrible FOMO, so don't even tell me anything. Don't show me any pictures.
I'll come see you, Lorena. Where are
Yeah,
you? Where are you?
I'm in Florida.
Florida. All right.
Yes, yes. All right, so we're all here, and Diana was telling them, you know, a little bit about what I do, but we're just going to enjoy this time together, being vulnerable, sharing, observing art, see what stirs inside of us, and see what stories we're telling ourselves that maybe they need a little tweaking, or maybe not. Maybe we love it just like that. Let's see what happens. To start, I always love to do a little meditation. So if everyone is comfortable, you guys can stay in camera, no camera. Like if I wasn't reading, I would close my eyes because I just like to kind of go inside. But if you're comfortable closing your eyes, you do that. If not, you just lower your gaze a little bit. And we're going to start our meditation. Spencer is coming in just on time for our meditation. Welcome. So, thank you for being here, Spencer. We're about to start our meditation. So I invite you guys to get comfortable. Allow your hands to rest on your lap or over your heart. Take a deep breath in through your nose and release slowly through your mouth. We do that one more time. Inhale and exhale. Let your shoulders soften and your jaw loosen. Let the mind be quiet. Begin to notice your body, which is your home. The way it touches the seat below you, the way the air brushes against your skin. Feel the weight of your body being held by the earth. You are supported, you are safe, and you are definitely welcome here. Now, imagine that within your heart, there is a blank canvas, an open space that holds no judgment, only possibility, no performance, only presence. This canvas holds your truth, your memory, your feeling, without needing words. It is raw, it's honest, and it's pure. Let that canvas begin to receive the brush strokes of your breath. Let it hold the colors of your emotions, whatever they might be. There is no right or wrong here, only what is true in this moment. If a feeling begins to arise, let it. If a memory appears, welcome it. If silence is all you feel, that too is sacred. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to analyze anything. Just be with what is. You're not here to look at an image today. You're here to look at yourself through it. So let the art become a mirror. Let your body become a brush, and let your feelings become the guide. And whisper this silently to yourself. I am safe to feel. I am safe to see. I am safe to meet myself here. Now take one more deep breath. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. And slowly and softly open your eyes. Welcome back. All right. Now we can all take a nap, and I'll be right back. I love starting our sessions, even my coaching sessions, with meditation, because it just connects us with ourselves and bring us all together to the same space. So now I'm going to show you the piece of art that we chose for us to analyze today. I love it, and I think you're going to love it too. This is it. So I would like to invite you now to breathe and just to observe this piece, right? And see what feelings come up. Maybe even like the temperature, like what is waking in your body, or the emotions. Where are you feeling those emotions that come out in your body? Maybe there is memories that they want to come up. Maybe there is surprises. So I'm going to give you, a little more time, a couple of minutes, and then I will invite you to write down whatever wants to come out just by looking at this. And this is absolutely imperfect, like this, it's just for you to just put your emotions and your story, maybe your story about this painting in the paper. So then we can share. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes, and I am also going to do this exercise with you guys. So you guys ready, or you need a little more time? I think that most of us, Leo, are you good? You need a little more time? Yeah? Spencer? You need more time or you're okay? Oh. All right. Okay, so I'm going to leave the image there just for inspiration. And I would love now that we already took that time and we breathe this image in to see. I'm curious to see what everyone saw in this image. If you saw yourself, if you saw someone else, I'd love for you to share it if anyone would like to do that. Use your little hand emoji, and please, if you guys have any question, don't forget to ask. Remember, this is your space. This is not my space. I'm just I just opened the door in my house for you guys, but it's for you. So who would like to go first? Don't fight with each other, please. It's going to be time for everyone to share. So yes, Danielle. Yes. Go ahead. Tell me.
Hi. So I think what and I was just talking about this earlier, but this reminds me of IFS work. Does everyone know what IFS is?
Yes, Diana is an expert, actually.
Yeah. So that's immediately what I saw when I looked at this, like a younger self. Just the way that the two sculptures are sitting, it looks to me like there was some sort of conflict, and these two inner selves almost are like desperate to reach out to each other, trying to communicate, trying to talk, and but can't, right? They're trying, but I'm sure all the wrong things were said maybe during that conflict, and it's really just kind of an inner need from each of their selves that is trying to emerge.
Yes, it's our nature, right? Like to connect and to love, but then these other parts of us are maybe they are trying to protect us. They think that they are protecting us, but they're separating us, right? And isn't that what happens so much? And sometimes we even feel that inner child force, but the ego is stronger and just like keep us like caged in. And did you see, Danielle, did it make you think about any specific time for you? Did anything like that came up?
Oh, probably lots of times. I didn't think of a specific time. Maybe kind of a general time in my personal life with my spouse, where it feels kind of like you're speaking different languages. So yeah, I would say, I guess I could relate it to, conflict I've been in with my husband.
Marriage. And how is that? Are you still with your husband?
Uh-huh.
Yes. And how is that going now?
Great. It's going great. We're exploring more, we're getting more curious with each other, becoming more aware of what the other is going through, maybe why they're going through it. And so, yeah, there's just a lot of curiosity between us right now versus reaction and
yes.
triggers. Yeah.
Thank you, Danielle. And curiosity, right? Such a thing that belongs to our inner child, really, because when we're kids, we just experiment and we get curious about everything. And then little by little, we lose that. But curiosity now, I'm super aware of always being curious and finding more things out, because it just makes me happy in general. Just that feeling of curiosity makes me feel alive and young. But thank you, Danielle. We keep talking later. And Jorge, you're next. Oh, where did he go?
Sorry. Okay. Thank you for holding this. Yes, I see, of course, the inner child, caged in inner child is what I see, but yet the children in that are lit up with beautiful light and energy. So that to me is like, they're surrounded by this hard cage that they can't seem to acknowledge. I didn't see what Danielle had seen until after, which is the conflict between the two cages. I just saw two people sad, holding themselves down, almost in a fetal position, yet the little babies are lighting up, and I felt that that is definitely the inner child. And then I also saw Burning Man. Just kidding. So I'm thinking psychedelics might work for this, but but a lot of empty spaces, a lot of deserts, so empty. So this is what I saw, and I did see myself as that little inner child, that little bright star. So I do see that.
So which one are you in this picture?
The one on holding my knees. Let me look at the picture again.
You're holding your knees, yes.
Yes.
And this inner child. And in this part of your life, what image do you relate the most? The outside or the little lighting from within inner child?
Today, the little child, the little light inside. But a few years ago, I definitely was the one holding myself up in pain and suffering. So yeah, I see both, but I definitely see myself more as that lit up little child right now.
Beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what do you think that inner child will say to your adult self today?
You're getting there. Yeah, I see growth. That child is seeing the growth of that adult.
Yes.
So yeah, a lot of peace with that.
Thank you. Thank you, Ernesto. And please, if you guys would like to comment on anything that any of us are talking about, lift your hand too. And because this is interactive, very interactive. Diana, yeah, it's you.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. This is amazing. I guess what's coming up for me as I look at this is I guess, of course, the obvious, right? Two adults back to back, maybe feeling distant or guarded on the outside, but then right in the middle, the lit up and very obvious, unmistakably present are their inner child, like face to face, palm to palm. I think it speaks volumes about the relational field. Like if even in the park, like you could see how vast this relational field as I look at it. And it's not just the surface level, right? It's not just the adult dynamics, I think, but the deeper, more tender parts of us that are always reaching for connection, for belonging, for attunement, for safety. So I'm going to speak from my IFS lens.
Yes.
So I do a lot of inner work, like inner child work with a lot of my clients. And when we go into the inner child work, it's often what we call the exiles that comes up. These are the younger parts, more vulnerable parts of us that longing to be seen, to be held, and to be understood. And that's human, basic human need when we come into this world, right? So now, even when the grown-ups are, parts of are disconnected, protective, or shut down, you can see all the wirings around it because we get hardened because of the life circumstance that we experience. I think this image is a really powerful reminder that underneath all of the cage that we built up around ourselves, every conflict, there's often a much softer story if we become curious and compassionate that needs to be told and is always unfolding. I think one of the vulnerability or unmet needs are usually our inner child comes forward to advocate for connection and acceptance and belonging.
Yes.
That's what's coming up for me.
Yeah, and that is beautiful. And I love that your forte is like IFS and, inner child work. I've been fascinated by it lately. I've been really digging in and I love to learn more. And like you said, what do those images need, right? What do they need right now that they are
Yeah.
there? That's just something that's good for us to reflect. And then at the end, we're going to open the floor, and whoever wants to expand on all this, we're going to do that. But thank you, Diana, and thank you for being vulnerable. Michael, I'm so happy that you're here. Finally, so happy. Thank you so much.
I'm really happy to be here. So I guess I see it a little bit differently, but I love that. I love this whole exercise because everybody's going to see something different, and it makes the whole thing even richer for the rest of us, only seeing things from our perspective, which I think is really important in communication anyway. Just that the more diverse and the more different ideas that you have on something, it makes you see it fully instead of just what you see. But what I see here is that the cage looks like your body, your physical body, and they're unhappy looking. I think the one on the left looks tired, like exhausted, and the one on the right looks like it's in conflict or frustrated or something like that with its hand up on its head that way. They look kind of like male and female to me too, like all of that kind of thing that happens in this three-dimensional world with our physicality. They're exposed out in the wide open. They're not like in a forest or anything, right? They're just exposed out on this big flat land. And then it seems like no matter what the body is happening because of the physical world, that our inner self, our soul, our spirit, our light, right, is like a young, fresh, energetic thing that's yearning to connect. And that's why their hands are kind of reaching for each other. So that even though our bodies might be turned away from each other because we're into our own thing, whatever it is that's distracting us from the world, and it's turning us away from each other. We might be touching, but we're back to back instead of like face to face. So we're like not connected as well as we could be. But the light ones don't look male or female to me. They just look like light beings, and they're reaching for each other because that I think internally we all are always looking for connection. And so they're trying to get through the barrier of this physical world and connect.
Yes.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And yes, when you were talking, what you were saying made me think about the inner child inside us. That's the truth, right? They are the truth. And everything else is, extra, right? But they are the truth. And it's beautiful, beautiful. I love this painting so much. And thank you, Michael, so much. And we're going to pass it to Leah.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to hear everybody's interpretation and what comes up for them. I'm just going to read what I wrote, and a lot of it has already been shared, but I wrote the light within, connection, innocence, non-judgment, a desire to share, the child within. As the unhealed adult, we isolate and disconnect, wallow in self-pain, depression, sadness, unprocessed emotion, ignoring the younger self, and dimming our light, turning our back on the self, on the light, on our light, on our inner child, and on our essence. The soul self, inner child, essence of who we are, the soul knows, let the child lead. The adult self is empty without our light, without the inner child. And then I thought, like, I would like to see like a second sculpture, like where the adult figures are like hugging, so that's what came up for me, that the adult self is really just like a shell. It's the soul, the inner child that lights us up and that gives us purpose and that connects us to creativity and to our curiosity and connects us to each other. So that's what came up for me. Thank you for letting me share.
Yeah, and that is so beautiful too. And I love it. Like you want to see a second sculpture, right? So what do you think? Like if they are turning into each other, what do you think the inner child will be doing?
Yeah, that's what I want to see because if you imagine like the middle hugging and then the inner children are connected, like almost like as one. So
Yes, that's what I see. I see that the light maybe just gets huge and just fill up all
mm,
the spaces and then it's not empty anymore.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Leah. Thank you. That was
Welcome.
beautiful. Leo. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I this is really interesting picture. I agree with everybody. The wire obviously is like a cage, and I also agree with Leah and Michael that the fact that they're facing away from each other, it's I think obviously showing differences between each other, but I think turning away from each other, it's also maybe a lack of like will to communicate because they're turning away from each other. So a bit of the ego involved. That's, I don't know how I felt, like they could be in the same position facing towards each other, looking for a solution. But as you grow apart, you just stop communicating at some point. So that's what I see. Also agree with them. I think, who was it? Leah. Oh, no, it wasn't Leah. I can't remember. Jorge and somebody else said something about the background just being so, like, just the environment being empty. I think it's important. I think that's part of it. I think it's there for a reason.
So what do you think that means?
Interestingly enough, just before I got on this call, I was watching a podcast where somebody was saying 75% of um, people cheating. I can't remember the word I'm looking for, but anyway, it happens at work. And so that was the question: why so much of it at work? And it's because in the marriage, you each have to respond to so many things to be with each other, and so many responsibilities. And whereas in the workplace, you have no responsibilities with this other person. So that's why it happens that way. And so
Yeah, so it's like it represents the loneliness a little bit, right? Just that feeling of
yeah, it's just trying to fill so many. I can't find the words. I need more time, but it's just
yeah. No. We're just but that's interesting that you said that because I felt something like that, like that void. And that's probably what it means, for me, um, just that disconnection, just being together, but alone, being alone together, right? And
exactly. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
that I have had moments in my marriage that I felt that way, even that I have a house full of kids as well.
Yeah.
Feel like you're alone, and
Yeah.
that pain, that thing in your chest is uh, that our light, our inner child being like, get me out of here. What's happening? I need love. I need connection.
Yeah, and it's the those two children, the inner children are still there though, and they're still touching. It's
Yes.
the big question mark in the middle, just willing to be there for each other, but just unwilling to for me to communicate, like find a solution. It's I'm tired too. I love you, but this is where we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have so many questions, but I leave them for the end. Thank you. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Leah, Leo. Um, Drum, you're up.
So I've loved this piece ever since I first saw it, like years and years ago. And the things that like came up in my mind when I was kind of looking at this, and similar to some people, um, one being like Leah saying, I want to see another statue. My mind was like erasing one of the adult pieces of the statue and thinking of like, that's our children of today. Like, they don't have those cages yet. And the inner child in us wants to reach out and engage in a childlike way with children. And I think for me, growing up and seeing like my nephew and then like knowing what I must seem like to him when I've had a long day and don't want to play and dance and do the things that he wants to do. So, like, kind of erasing one of the statues and seeing that, but also like it reminded me of just images of children. Like it doesn't matter what they look like, if they're missing limbs, if they are different colored skin, if they're like children don't care. So it's almost like growing up, we learn to build those cages around that child that just wants to connect and be with other people. And another thing that kind of came up in that is like I've been in that scenario where like the adult bodies are sitting there and just can't connect. But like there's a burning inside of me that just wants it to be over. Like, I don't want this fight to exist. I love you so much. Like, all I want to do is like embrace you. But it's like you're sitting there feeling misunderstood. Maybe your ego is at play, sitting there upset. But like inside of me, even when I'm like sitting there upset and angry, there's something inside of me just like saying, "Oh my God, I just want this to be over so that we can be happy and embrace each other." So like I almost feel that like inner child in me when my back is facing my partner. Like it's like this burning thing inside of me that just wants me to remember like connection is what you're wanting. And the reason you're facing the other way is because you're thinking too much about being understood and having this anger that someone who lived a different life than you can't understand you perfectly. But in those moments to kind of think about like what Leo was saying, if I feel like if those two adults were to spin around and embrace each other, it would almost be like that inner child would glow so big that the bars would just kind of vanish inside of the light and you could embrace each other because I have been in that moment where we're able to move past this confrontation that's got us facing away from each other and kind of like what Danielle was saying, like the curiosity of like why you think that way and being open enough to listen to your partner being different than you instead of getting frustrated and not feeling seen. I feel like that light would just kind of blow up into the fact that those skeleton wire cages that are adults would kind of disappear. Because, and another thing I noticed was like in that thing in the left, that one child's hand looks like it's almost coming out of that cage a little bit. And it's almost like that's vulnerability, like going outside of the safety of the cages we've built. Like we have to take that vulnerable step and put ourselves in a position where they can come at you with a really harsh statement that will feel very wounding. And it looks like that child is kind of taking the extra step of vulnerability and like putting themselves out a little bit further to try to touch that inner child of the other person. So those were kind of the things that I felt. But like the big one was just like that burning feeling that I've had in that moment where like the adult me is like, well, I'm gonna be angry until he learns his lesson. I'm gonna punish him with ignoring this person by, but it's like in that scenario, you both are hurting. And it takes that one person to kind of be vulnerable and like say sorry or embrace them when even though like inside your blood may be boiling. Um, but like those inner child, they always want that. And the other thing I always point out is just they're close. Those two statues could be very far apart, um, but they're back to back. So it's almost like that inner child is really strong because it's holding them together despite the adult's desire to pull away from one another. Like that inner child is keeping them back to back, even though their adult minds probably want to have a door or a wall or a state between them at the moment. The inner children speak very loudly, and getting that opportunity to like allow that to be the guiding light is definitely, I think, a really powerful thing. So
Yeah.
I'm excited that you chose this image today.
Yes, and thank you, Drum, because we chose that together, really. So, I love that. I love what comes out for me of what you say. What stands out the most is the vulnerability part, right? That there's always like one of us that needs to put the hand out of the cage, not knowing what's going to happen. Because if not, it's like a never-ending story. And I know that you say you've been there before. I've been there before too. Um, what works for you? What do you tell yourself when you're in a situation like that? Is a question.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in scenarios where I realized that a word I said really hurt the person I was in conflict with. And like that usually snaps me out of something because a lot of the things that I say is like, I need you to understand me. Like, I want to be understood. I want to be embraced and understood. And there was one time in an argument where I was just like, you're too stupid to understand. And like, I saw the facial expression on his face change when I called him stupid that like instantly switched me into, oh my God, like I need to fix this. Like I can't let him continue to feel the pain that I just created. So I feel like at some point someone has to break and see the pain that they're causing by not just realizing we're gonna have to move forward, not fully understanding one another. Like it's impossible. Like it just can't happen. Uh, but I think that that was like a moment for me that really stood out, where I was just like, oh my gosh, like his face distorted, and I knew that what I just said hit in a way that I didn't intend it to. Like I wanted to be understood. I didn't want to hurt the person. So, because in this picture, it doesn't look like either of these people are trying to hurt one another. They're both just in their own worlds of pain. And sometimes we create more pain for one another just trying to be understood.
Yes, thank you, thank you. And I've been in those situations as well, and I've been in the situations that I use a word that's not, that can hurt people. It's just incredible how much we can hurt someone just with one word, and it pains it pains me more. It pains the person that's saying that word more than the other one. Yes, the other one gets the pain, but when you realize that you hurt someone else, it's just like, oh my gosh, let me take this back. But I realized that I worked a lot with that, and I cannot, like, I need to communicate for sure. I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. Let's just put this as a blank paper, and let's talk about this, because we all have different perspectives in life, right? We all have our story, our mapping of the world, like NLP says, right? So we need to cut ourselves some slack and be like, okay, I get it that you're upset because I don't know what's happening in your head. I mean, maybe that person doesn't even know why it's reacting certain way because, the inner child knows what happened because the inner child is probably the one that created these protectors at some point. So that's when the dreamer needs to come out. I heard once about, that we have like these three facets. We have our inner child, our protector, and the dreamer. And the dreamer is the possibility, the openness. So in those moments, it's like, so what will the dreamer do right now? Right? Just to go in a different space. I remember reading that, and that was beautiful. I'm going to look it up, and then one day we're going to share it in the community. Yes, Diana, I see your hands up.
Yeah, no, I love that question about what do you do when you are in conflict that way. And great share, Drummond, about the vulnerability part of it, that it takes one person to step up. I think the cages that we see or form in our lives is our protectors. And it could be our hypervigilant, our perfectionism, our passion. Sometimes we see like we're so passionate about a certain thing that if the other person can't see it, we paint it as a certain way, like what Drummond said, like, you're too stupid to see that, you can't see this, why, what's wrong with you, right? So this protectors of ours, it's not wrong, right? Because it's trying to serve us, and it has purpose in our own system. And what helps me in my own relationship is that as soon as I get triggered, I ask inside, how old am I right now? And oftentimes a number will come up for me, a 9. Usually with my husband, I'm always a teenager, right? So, okay, this is a 15-year-old that really feisty, just want to come across this way. I really want to get my way yesterday. And I really just wanted him to know, why do I even have to tell him? He should just know this. What's wrong with him, right? So I think when we go back to the original pain, where our needs didn't get meet, I think we can come back to ourselves and attend to those needs with so much more love and compassion, and tell ourselves, or the parts of ourselves, like, yeah, it makes sense why we're upset right now. It does, because you care so much about this. So now how do we communicate this with respect and compassion towards our system and other people's system? And so it's more an empowering way of relationship, because rupture happens, right? It happens all the time. But how do we repair it? How do we come back to repair? Makes a huge difference. So just wanted to add that. Thanks.
Yeah, no, that was so beautiful in so many ways, and I have so many questions that I forgot them all. There were so many. um, but that's true, right? We have the power to heal, to make our life beautiful. It's just awareness. Sometimes we lack the awareness and we let our ego take over, right? But like you said, I love that. I wanted to write it down, but I'm going to after. How old I am in this situation, right? That's awesome. That's just taking that moment, take a deep breath. How old am I in this situation? And then it's like, and then go back a little bit. What happened? What was happening at that time? Because normally what we feel at the time is something that we lived before. So we're not reacting to our partner, for example. I'm saying partner because of this picture. To our partner is we're reacting to your uncle, your father, your best friend at school that you had a fight. So when we are aware of that, we can have the compassion to be like, hey, listen, I'm like, when I'm already in that mood, I tell my husband, I just want you to know that I'm going to be a little irrational in this situation, and just bear with me. Just it's going to go back to normal, but whatever normal means. But yes, and then you realize, you get the awareness why you feel that way, and then that alone is just so it will soften you, right? And then what do I need right now? What did my teenage self need then that maybe I can give it now? And maybe for when we take that action in the present moment, we're using this challenge to heal something that we've been carrying for a very long time. So every challenge in our life can be a tool for healing, because most of our challenges, they stem from our childhood, for things that happened that we just didn't take care of it, right? And then they keep coming up. And I know that I'm 50 years old, and things from when I was 5 keeps coming up. But when we're aware, which we cultivate with meditation, being in nature, whatever connects you, put you in the song, then we can start healing. And every moment in life is an opportunity to heal and be happier and better. Thank you, Diana. Thank you. Ernesto, yes, tell me everything.
Yes. Thank you for that question, because what do you do when you get triggered? And, I know that in my lifestyle, as far as work, I used to be very reactionary, because here I am, closing bins and putting suitcases up. And then that last person gets upset with me that there's not an overhead bin. They never saw my hard work, so now I just bite, right? Now I feel like shit on the airplane, like that passenger needs an apology from me, because yes, he was wrong as well, but I was wrong for how I reacted, because I wanted him to see me, my hard work, and he caught me at a moment where, wow, didn't you see what I've been doing? But of course he didn't, So one thing that I have learned to do is apologize.
Yes.
Apologize. I even apologize sometimes when I'm not wrong, just to keep the peace in my environment, and to keep it to where people do not feel like I'm crossing a boundary, So I know that within myself, when I react, that feeling inside does not feel good. But the second that I do go out and apologize and clear things up and clear the air with this other person, whoever it might be, it's just so beautiful to have that acknowledgement that, you know what, I was wrong. I apologize. And then they apologize too, because you know what, I was wrong too. But we don't know that because we're conflicting. So
yes, but that's beautiful. See, like we have the power. We have the power to make ourselves totally miserable and separate each other, but we also have the power to connect. And what came out for me when you were talking as well was very powerful for me is just after the awareness of what's happening, and I know something is happening because you feel it. Normally you feel it in your body somewhere, and you're like, oh, I need to take care of this, because if not, it's going to become a cancer. So it's like putting myself on the other person's shoes, right? Because you never know, right, in a conflict, what this person went through. It might be a trigger, what we said or what we did, who knows? But also it's like, what are they going through in that moment? They just came because they have a child that is sick, or they've been traveling for like 40 hours, right? So then be like, okay, just I don't know what's happening with this person. So I need to be neutral and loving, right? We should always be like that. But and then the same thing with the other person. Like Ernesto might have been traveling for 5 days straight. He might be starving. He might have had a fight with someone, right? And all these things we carry with us. We all have our story, that nobody knows about it. But if we pause and we're aware of what's, that we don't know what's happening, then it softens us a little bit and we become a little more kind. Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you, Leah.
I really appreciate the discussion today, and what has come through from everybody sharing is the ego is hard and the soul is soft, and so the armor that the ego wears versus the vulnerability of the soul. And so it's like that, like Jorge, when you were describing, like it doesn't feel good when you react to somebody, because the reaction is the ego in that protection mode, in that hard mode. But like the inner child, the soul, is the soft part that doesn't want that pain, even the pain that someone else is feeling, it's affected by that. And so it's like when we lead with the soul and we try to connect on the soul level with someone else, it is coming from that space of vulnerability, and people are more likely to receive us or to listen to us or to connect with us. But when we're coming from that hard space of the ego, you know, that our protection, our armor, is like we're going into battle. But when we remove that, you know, it's this the soft soul inside, the inner child that's connecting with someone else's inner child. So it's really beautiful to see. And then just like also I hope that this artist can make like a whole, you know, saga of these little images. There could be so much, you know, like yeah, it would be cool just to see like a whole gallery of different poses and interactions between the ego and the inner child and the soul. So really cool. Thank you.
Thank you. And maybe they exist. I know that networking Drummond would tell us to just get in touch with the artist, right? And tell him and ask him, right? Jump in a call. What do you think, Drum?
I mean, I'm all for reaching out to people and having conversations. I've learned that we make these big things in our heads of, wow, this is a really famous piece of art. That person has no time to talk to me. But I've reached out to so many beautiful artists and authors and people that wrote beautiful things, and they're just as human as the rest of us. So I'm sure that the artist would probably love to have a discussion of the creation of this piece.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Thank you, Drum. Thank you, Leah. Thank you. Ernesto, yes.
One thing I want to point out is all the lights that are shining within these squares. I see our inner childs talking with one another here.
Yes.
This is what I see within each one of us right here, right now. So I just kind of wanted to speak on that.
Yes, exactly. So, what do you think that what do you think that the message is? Anyone? Let me see here. Let me go down to see to give the chance. If my is Spencer. Spencer, would you like to say something? You are welcome. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, I can read what I wrote. It was just a couple of sentences. I also took like kind of the internal family systems approach to it as well. So I said grieving adult selves trying to feel free in nature. They are overwhelmed. The inner child glowing, connecting, feeling the light of life. We are in there even if our adult selves are trapped.
Yes. Yes. And thank you, Spencer, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Yes, that's the message, right? Just we have the light is there no matter what it looks like from the outside. Do you, any of you guys feel that there is in any area of your life you guys are still feeling that you're a little trapped? No? I'm gonna think about me. I used to have a time like when I had my dark night of the soul. That's exactly how I was feeling. I was feeling that I was trapped, right? And I didn't know. I was feeling like I was buried alive. Like I would close my eyes, and that's what I was thinking. And what made me, what liberated the inner child was just going back to being myself, going back to the time that I was a kid. And what did I like? What did I love? What did I need? And just start doing the thing and start creating creativity, right? It's just such a beautiful thing because it just comes out like writing poetry or drawing or anything. So those were the things that woke up my inner child and my adult self as well, because then my adult self start waking up. But I do feel like it's always a work in progress, and that we always have challenges that make us feel like, like crumbling down and looking down and hugging our knees and hiding. We just have to remember that that's temporary, and we have the power to connect and be ourselves again and wake up that inner child, because at the end of the day, we're going to regret not being us. We're going to regret not playing, not just our ego. I'm going to regret saying I'm sorry. That's said, no one said that ever, right? So sometimes I like to, in coaching, I like to either go back to the inner child and have a talk with the inner child and see what happened in the meditation, or go back to when I'm in my deathbed and be like, okay, so what's important? What is going to be important for me now? What am I still going to be thinking about? And those tools help me. And it's crazy because, you know, we are all coaches. Everyone that's here, they're coaches. So we have all these amazing tools, but a lot of people go through life just like that, just curling up in the ball with an inner child trying to come out because they do not have the tools. So all of us really have the power to touch lives, even if it's one person, wherever we go. If we can just give advice, give a hug, and just let people know that we see them and we hear them, that's already, we are healing everyone, we're healing the planet. So thank you. Leah. No, Leo. Oh,
Yeah,
Diana.
yeah. Who?
Go ahead, Dale.
Whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead, Diana.
Yeah, Lorena, the word stuckness or trapped, is that what you,
Yes,
yeah?
trapped. I said trapped, yeah.
I think there's an evolution in my view. I think we will always feel, as long as we have exiles in us, as long as we have parts of ourselves that we kind of move down, way down to our subconscious, we will always have parts of us that feel trapped and disconnected. And I think the bigger question that I have is that when I feel trapped, is that how can I show up for this part of me that's needing connection right now? And I'm just really love this image that you brought up here, Drummond. I'm just like, I lost my train of thoughts and I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I was going to talk about. Is that this is exactly what it looks like, is that turning towards that version of us that feels trapped, and that what it needed now for us to show up in this present moment, because we are, as the present self, we are the leader of our own internal world, our system. We have agency, we have resources, and that we can go back, like what you said, Lorena, is go back to our own hurt self or our inner child and attend or give back what we didn't get back then, because it's not other people's responsibility to help us. They can walk alongside us, but it is our responsibility to show up for ourselves, for our own hurt, to find healing within us, and to find those connections and vulnerability and courage to advocate for our inner child. And so when that happens, this beautiful picture that Drummond just shared is actually the internal harmony that you create within yourself, that you can have this trust between all the versions of yourself that might feel disconnected or longing for belonging and connection, that you have this inner trust and belonging within you so that you don't look for it outside, because you're showing up as 100% with the partner that you were with, friendships, community, and that you're showing up as a complete human being. It's just, you're perfect just as you are, right? So yeah.
Yes, thank you, Diana. That's beautiful. And so many things came to me when you said, we're not going to get rid of, of course, these parts are always going to be there, and we need to embrace them in a way and be compassionate and thank them, because obviously they are trying to protect us for something that in the past had hurt us, or something that we were scared or didn't feel safe, right? But now every time those triggers come up, if we have the awareness of being like, oh, I'm feeling like this, where is this coming? Then just embrace that part and be like, I love you so much, perfectionist. Like you are perfect. But now I don't need you, because if you're going to run the show, then I'm never going to get anything done. Then I'm never going to feel enough. So just embracing all those little parts and make them feel love, but then just let our inner child, our soul, our intuition, our authentic self take over. Thank you. Thank you. I love this conversation. Anyone, please, that feels like they have a question or they want to say or share something, this is your space, remember. So go ahead. Leo.
Yeah, I was just after what Jorge said, it made me think, of the 5-year-olds, and I put it in the chat, like stop acting like a 5-year-old, you're acting like a 5-year-old, and this kind of just remind me of, when a child gets scolded, for example, and he goes and pout, like say, like either of these statues, really just sitting somewhere with their heads in their knees or lap or whatever, and then they kind of look up in the corner of their eye because they want validation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you see the picture? And I feel like this could be that too. You pout and yawn on each side of us. You're just acting like 5-year-olds, or talking to each other or fighting like 5-year-olds. And then you pout in your corner, but yet you're still looking for validation or the attention of the other person. So
Yes.
yeah,
You.
it just made me think of that when Jorge talked about that.
Yes. Yes. And I see that. And I feel like what you said, even the statues are curled up, looking up, and then the inner child is the stronger one, right? The inner child is the vulnerable one. It takes a lot of courage to admit, to look up and say, actually, I just need a hug, right? Because those parts are weaker, definitely, even that they are made of iron and they look huge comparing with the light inside. The light inside is a lot stronger and carries the courage and the vulnerability because they come together. Thank you, Leo. Spencer, yes.
Okay, so I just want to talk about my weekend, kind of, and healing the inner child. I went to the beach with some of my friends over the weekend, and we did like a tent on the beach and just kind of like was in the elements for a few days. And I haven't did that in many, many years. Like when I was a kid, my grandma would rent a beach house and we would stay. And, like as a kid, I would go camping with my family. And so I haven't did like beach camping in almost a decade. And I haven't really gone really out into nature's water much, really, not past my ankles, probably since my boating accident when I was 18. Um, so just to be like out in the water and going pretty deep and not being scared and just sitting in the water and talking to the water. Even one of my friends like came out there with me and I was like, you don't even know how healing it is just to have like a friend be in the water with you and float along the water with you and like to the points where like I was like floating up and then doing like kind of circles in the water like you're rolling down a hill but instead the ocean is rolling you. And even my kid has a 12-year-old and he was like, that looks like fun. And I was like, it's so fun, do it. Like, but I probably haven't did that since I was like his age. So to just like share that with another child and with another adult, like it healed my tiny child self, my teenage self, like my younger adult self, like, and I just feel more whole, I guess. It was just so beautiful. And then at the end, our friends took us to a local restaurant, and the food literally tasted like it did back home, which is hard. Like, I never have food living in the city now that just tastes like home. So it was just like a perfect ending to like a wonderful weekend.
That sounds so beautiful. Thank you so much, Spencer, for sharing that with us. That that took me in a little trip. I could see it was like a little mini movie in my head. Thank you for sharing that, and congratulations. And how beautiful and how simple and how free it is to connect with our true selves, with our authentic self. It's like it's always there. Just go out, just play and do the little things and just let go and surrender and just be silly, such a sense of freedom, and makes me want to go to the river now and just play around and certainly have some food from Argentina. But yes, isn't that crazy? And who knows, maybe just the universe was giving you the gift of bringing you that meal that remind you, but maybe you felt at home. You felt at home with yourself because those moments merge us, right, with our soul, with who we truly are, and that's how we heal. And isn't that wonderful? And those gifts, I feel like these spaces and the gift of us, like sharing who we are, how different we are, and how the same we are. For me, that is just such a gift. So thank you, Spencer, and all of you. Yes, Ernesto, tell me.
Yes. Wow, Spencer, congratulations. That's amazing. And going back to something that you just said was going back to that other kid's age. So when I went to go be a nanny, I became 9 and 10 year old again. For those 2 years, I was 9 and 10 because I was around a 9 and 10 year old. Well, they changed it. They became 11 and 12 eventually. But you become that age. I was able to go on a trampoline, which I hadn't been. I was able to go and teach Ella how to do backflips on things that I loved doing as a child. So not my children, but being around other children and being childlike actually helped me center because I had hit rock bottom. Then I became a nanny, and then being a nanny was really what grounded me because I myself went back to being my child, being around children at that mentality, how brilliant and smart they really are at that age. And I didn't see my brilliance at that time, but I did when I connected with a kid, you know?
Yes. Yes, that's beautiful. That's another way, just hanging out with your kids and just instead of you telling them what to do, just observe what they are doing and just maybe take a little hint about letting go of fear, letting go of ego, and just as adults, we become so aware of the things that they are wrong with us, and just let that go, Like a kid don't care what they look like, what people is going to say, if they're being loud, what they're wearing. And so, yes, we have a lot to learn from kids and from our inner child. And I feel like we are over time a little bit, but I think that we are all comfortable. So hopefully everyone is okay with that. Anyone else would like to share anything or has a question? Let's see. No? Well, I just wanted to say that I hope that you guys carry this little moment with you guys, and whenever you feel like you are caged within, you think about everything that we talk about today, and take a little hint and make the right decision and connect. And I want to thank all of you guys because I feel so lucky, and I'm going to walk out of this call so happy, and connected, and just the feeling of being around each other, and the feeling of community just fills me up. So I hope that there's a lot of moments, a lot of more moments like this. And I wanted to also tell you and invite you, if you would like to write something. Maybe I was just thinking, that poetry, I like poetry, but maybe just looking at this picture brings something out, or maybe there is something that you didn't talk about, or maybe some of you guys that didn't share a lot, you guys still have something inside that maybe you can process it alone and just write a poem about a letter from your inner child to your adult self right now. What will your inner child say? If he has any advice for our adult self, and all that good stuff. And then just let me know. I think that we all have each other's contacts and emails and social medias. So yeah, let's stay connected. And yes, I also would like to talking about authenticity and connection. I have a free challenge that I'm going to share with you guys in the comments. Let's see. So if you guys want to go through it, it's just really, it's easy. It's really enlightening, really. Oh, I had it here. It's not working. Okay. I have a lot of, how do you call it? I have a lot of tools or free resources over there that I think that you guys are going to enjoy. And if you enjoy this call, please let us know. And so then we can have more of this, right? There you go. That's it. So then
Thank you, Lorena. This has been very thought-provoking conversation. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to hop off. I have a session.
Yes, thank you. Yes, we went over time, but I want to thank everyone. I really appreciate you guys being here. Please connect. If you guys have any feedback, you can post it in the community or in social media, and I would love to hear it. And if you guys would like to work with creativity in any other form, just let us know, and Drum and I will come up with something for sure. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Drum, for this beautiful space and everything and inspirations that you always give us for sure. And I see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.